minutes from now. They're in the mounting yard for the running of race 1, and the track in perfect condition, of course, and as Hilton has been telling you, it's 3 years in the making there, and it's just a fantastic scene. It'll be a big crowd there today, no doubt. Sapphire Coast race 1, and number 1, Meet the Stars, is at $3. Number 2, Opera Fair, is at $5.40. Turf Mover at $38, and Belmont Gambler at $5.10. Bold Bray at $6.30, then Larrigan at $24. Down to Sandy's Babe, $7.50, and Spirit of the West at $17. Shots of the crowd down there, and already a very big crowd on hand. 19's there for Cool Jester as well. Very big crowd on hand for the opening day of the Sapphire Coast. Should be great today too. Looking forward to all the races there. Selections from Chris O'Brien in race 1, 2 Opera Fair, 1 Meet the Stars, and 4 Belmont Gambler, 2-1-4. In the second, Chris likes number 5 Frost Free. He's put in number 10 Piper's Game and 1 Satiro for third, 5, 10 and 1. To the third event, and selection is 4 Magic Snip, 1 Darrenberg and 3 Ciara Girl. That's 4-1-3. The fourth event, and selection here is number 1 Strike Time to beat 4 Alvicia Lavu and 2 Diamond Tipped, 1, 4 and 2. Race 5, it's 9 Bubbles of Joy, the tip here, to beat number 8 Whoopsa and 1 Little Errol, 9, 8 and 1. To race 6, and a tip for 1 Bayview to beat 3 Lord Vader and 5 Gil Hua, 1, 3 and 5. Race 7, selection is here for number 9 Miss Magikit over 8 Nurse Grace and 3 Grey Rider, 9, 8, 3. And in the last, tip is for 2. And that is our Jenna to beat number 5 Tulsa Miss and 7 Subarallen. That's 2, 5, 7 in the last from Chris O'Brien. Sapphire Coast, and they're in the mounting yard for the running of race 1. Okay, now Balaclava, big meeting in South Australia this afternoon as well, so let's run Larrigan at 15, then Sandy's Babe at $6.90, and Spirit of the West at 19, and over the page to $22 for Cool Jester. About to move them in for the running of race 1 at Caulfield. Fine and
Sapphire Turf Club's new track. Sandy's Babe links up, so they are ready to run. 1,600 metres the distance, and the starter moves to the front of the stalls. Opera Fair, well supported, settles down. Meet the Stars, the top weight. And they're racing the opening of the new track, and Meet the Stars, the favourite, missed the kick and is going to be allowed to settle back at the tail. Turf Mover and Larrigan are away quickly via for the early lead, and Opera Fair, followed by Spirit of the West and Belmont Gambler drifting back along the inside, a length away Bold Bray, and the pace is right on as they head down the back. 1.5 away to Sandy's Babe, Cool Jester second last, and Meet the Stars at the tail, and he's about a dozen from the leader. Turf Mover races around towards the 1,100 metre mark, and he is setting a solid tempo. He's out by 3 lengths from Spirit of the West. Opera Fair moves to third now on the outside of Larrigan. 2 lengths away to Bold Bray. Belmont Gambler tucked away on the inside. 1 length Sandy's Babe, and Meet the Stars being ridden patiently. He's at the tail about 10 lengths from the leader. Turf Mover, he moves onto this big spacious corner. He's out about 4 on Spirit of the West, and Opera Fair lying third as they race inside the 800. Larrigan the inside from Bold Bray. Sandy's Babe starts to make ground out 3 wide. Belmont Gambler back to second last, and Meet the Stars at the tail. He's about 8 or 9 from the leader. They're inside the 600 and coming towards the top of the straight. Turf Mover still out by 3 lengths on Spirit of the West. Opera Fair starting to move into it. Larrigan pushing up on the inside from Bold Bray, Sandy's Babe, Belmont Gambler, and now Meet the Stars is hooked to the extreme outside. Racing down to the 300. Spirit of the West goes to the lead, but Opera Fair's joining him, and here's Sandy's Babe with a big run, and Meet the Stars are starting to motor home down the outside. Opera Fair got to a narrow lead, but Sandy's Babe has claimed it. Belmont Gambler and Meet the Stars late. Sandy's Babe just in front. Opera Fair fights back, but Sandy's Babe is doing a bit the better on the line, and Sandy's Babe wins the first race from either Opera Fair or Belmont Gambler. Meet the Stars wide or figure in that photo for the miners. They were followed in by Bold Bray, Spirit of the West, Larrigan knocked up, and the early leader, Turf Mover, has run at the tail.
So, race 1 at the brand new Sapphire Coast track, and it's won by Sandy's Babe at 9:42.20, and a photo for the miners there with Opera Fair and Belmont Gambler, the most prominent. Now at Balaclava, they're moving Sapphire Coast, and it's 7-2 Opera Fair second and 4 Belmont Gambler third, and a fantastic crowd for the opening day there today. Enjoying themselves, no doubt. Now,
thank you very much, Chris Kearns. Ray Silburn, the first jockey to win here at the Sapphire Coast. It was a great, masterful ride by Ray. He's got a smile from ear to ear. The track looks absolutely magnificent. At 30 metres wide, there's plenty of room to move. The facilities here are absolutely outstanding, as we'll find out later in the day. And somebody that's going to help us do that is Michelle Tizard, Sky's First Lady. Hello, Michelle. How are you?
Good afternoon. Well, it certainly is a fantastic day here at the Sapphire Coast Turf Club. We've all heard of the Gold Coast. We're about to hear about the Sapphire Coast. Lots of the locals have turned up today, about 6,000 people, and it's just a fantastic atmosphere.
It absolutely is wonderful, isn't it? We just missed getting on that first winner, though, didn't we? The bus was a bit late getting in.
After a wonderful seafood lunch. It was great.
We went to the Tathra Hotel. We had a lovely seafood lunch there. Now, what about a tip early, Michelle? Can you give us something for the punters out there?
Well, there's a lot of the Canberra trainers here. Barbara Joseph is here, and Frank Cleary. Frank's got a runner in this next race, and I think it's Forest.
That's right, number 5, isn't it?
Number 5.
Well, number 8, Forest Glow.
That's how good we're going. We haven't got our book open yet. It's been so exciting with
Forest
the
Dancer,
first
number
race.
8, that's right.
Forest Dancer, number 8. That's Frank Cleary's tip for the second.
Now, throughout the day, you'll be having a chat with a few people along with myself, and we're really looking forward to a wonderful day here at the Sapphire Coast.
It certainly does. Look, it's going to be a great day. Richard Face is here. He was at the bowl last night. He said it was fantastic, and he's very proud to be opening this course today.
We'll find out more about the ball and other things later on this afternoon. The dividends on the first, 7, 2 and 4, Quinella 1860, trifecta $206. We'll talk to you later on, Michelle.
Thanks, Nick. See you there.
See you soon. All right, Chris, as you can...
all the activity trackside. Once again, here's Nick Robin. I have no...
$527.
From 2KY. And Greg, you were there at the ball last night, preempting what should be a marvellous day of racing here today. How's everything?
Everything's good. In fact, you got the feeling last night, Nick, they were very excited about today because everyone who was interested in racing was down here on the Sapphire Coast was here, and I wasn't expecting to see 400 people dressed in black tie.
What a wonderful place this is, though. I mean, it's one of the great secrets now exposed.
Well, it is. I think more people will start coming down south. They combined 2 jockey clubs, and I don't think too many people gave them a chance of getting this complex off the ground. It's first mooted in 1988, and the last 3 years have been of a building process. So the work they've done is just sensational, and look, I think this is they're sitting on a gold mine, really.
Now, I want you to tip us a winner before you go, but obviously this particular place is very good for the training facilities as well, for trainers around this area. Keeps them buoyant.
Yeah, they're trying to sell the plots around the course to have trainers come to the Sapphire Coast and hopefully stay here and build up a training empire. But, you know, the position of Bega is going to be difficult, but if there's local trainers who want to move in from the outer areas into the Sapphire Coast, well, I think that might work.
Stick around for half a second. We'll watch Caulfield together and come back and give us a tip.
Okay.
Okay, here's Caulfield.
270, the favourite.
Chris, yeah, here we are. Geez, I'll tell you what, you've grown about an inch or two, I reckon.
You're a little bit short, aren't you?
Did you back a winner yesterday?
No, it was well, Savannah Success. I backed Savannah Success, but it was hard to put a few together. Very hard, especially in Melbourne.
Hey, the slipper's open now, isn't it?
To an extent, I think Redoubt's Choice has stamped himself well and truly now. That was a phenomenal 2 starts for 2 wins, and one of them being a blue diamond. I mean, that's almost impossible.
I stepped into a TAB yesterday and backed Istadard. And I was happy as Larry.
Istadard.
Yeah, found him, yeah.
The old import.
Yep, the 2 9-year-olds call into the race. Now, listen, what about today here at the Sapphire Coast? You are a form expert. Can you tip us a winner or two here today for the punters?
No, I'm not a form expert, Nick, but I can find blokes who want a tip. And Nurse Grace in race number 7. Now, this horse is coming in off the Canberra Guineas last start. It's going to find this a lot easier. And in the last, there's a good tip around for Tulsa Miss number 5. So they've got to be the 2 in the final 2 races. At least we might be able to go home happy.
That's a very good impersonation of a form expert. Well done.
There you go.
See you soon, Greg.
Okay, mate.
Greg Ratley there on 2KY. Now, race coast, that is. Number 1 is Soretto at $11. 2 is
Nick.
Thanks, Chris. Welcome back to the Sapphire Coast, and the Baroness of Bombala. She doesn't have too far to travel because she lives in this region. Barbara Joseph is with me right now. Hello, Barb. How are you?
Hello, Nick. Are you taking over from Johnny Tapp here?
Oh, well, you know, I've got a licence to do that occasionally, especially when we come down to your area.
Yes, it's great, isn't it? The facilities, the track. I just can't believe it's a lot of credit got to go to this clubs down here and all the workers they've had, and how they've got this track up here and running today is it's just some sensation.
A remarkable effort. And what about the race course itself? The track is absolutely impeccable, isn't it?
Look, the course is absolutely magnificent. We came down here 3 or 4 weeks ago and trialled some horses, and look, it was just fabulous. Any horse from anywhere can win here today.
Let's have a look at some of your... you've brought a pretty big team here too, Barbara, and you want to have a crack at Frank Cleary today, and it's going to be a marvellous duel between both of you. I think they've both got good teams.
I can't let that Frank get too many winners on me. I've got to keep on his tail a bit.
I reckon you might have the livestock to do it too. Let's have a look at race number 2. You've got a horse called Frost Free engaged in the second race.
Yeah, Frost Free. She's just a non-winner. She keeps running places all the time, but I think she gets a chance here today. You know, it would be lovely because some of their owners come from Bombala and down here as well, and it'd be great to win here today.
What about in the third race, the top weight?
Darrenberg, well, he's owned by a gentleman that owns the newsagent at Eden, so he's another local one that we brought his horse down, and he's first up today. We've had a few little shin problems with him, but he should run quite well.
Now, we know Loose Lady, this particular horse has put 2 wins on end a couple of starts ago.
Yes, Loose Lady, she won the last race on the old bigger track.
Right.
She was the last horse to win there, and it would have been nice today for this race to be first race and see if she could win. But she's
only had a couple of runs since, hasn't she?
Yeah, she's only had 1 start since then. Yeah, that was her. She's only had 3 starts for me, and she's going along great.
What about Scintillator in race 5?
Yeah, Scintillator, well, he belongs to Bob Logan, Logan's Insurance, and he's all the way down here today. And he's had a couple of seconds, and he'll be competitive.
The owners of Bubbles of Joy are down from Noosa for the day.
Yeah, the owners of
The weather's no good in Noosa.
The weather's no good in Noosa. It rains up there, and they've had all the bubbles last night out of the champagne, so they're now came here now to watch their horse.
And what about Sporting in the major race of the day? This is a good horse.
Sporting's an up-and-coming horse, you know. I mean, he's up against open company horses here today, but I think this track will suit him. You know, he gets back and he goes well for Johnny's course.
And Call Me Oscar, the final race.
Call Me Oscar. Well, he's a bit of a problem child. He has a habit of stopping in the barriers and not jumping, but he came down...
What happened to him at Cootamundra?
Oh, well, he's been to Cootamundra twice and got barred twice, so
really?
He just doesn't like the Cootamundra track.
Fair enough, okay.
Yeah.
Well, he might like it here, because I tell you what, everything's going for every horse here today.
Yeah, well, he came down here and trialled 3 or 4 weeks ago to get past the race again, and he won the trial, very impressive.
He said, listen, Barb, just wait till they open that Sapphire Coast up. I'll do all right for you there.
That's what he said. He might think he can try down here on this coast.
Good to see you again, Barbara. Good luck today. You've got a big team, and I know you'll enjoy your day here. Win, lose or draw, it's wonderful to be here.
Yes, Nick, it's just great to be here, and so many people, it is wonderful.
Thanks a lot, Barb. Barbara Joseph there from Bala, and she's got a very strong team here today at the Sapphire Coast. Thanks, Chris. Back to you.
Okay, good on you, Nick. And one of the horses is throwing the rider on the way to the post there at the Sapphire Coast. That's in the second event, and that is Miss Lady Be Sweet. I'm not quite sure what's going on there at the moment. We'll get some information shortly on that. So they're at the start, and they're already about 3 minutes late. Now, it's out now, is it? Okay, number 4, Miss Lady Be Sweet, is a late scratching in this second event. Take note, it was a roughie, though, around about the 40 or 50 to 1 mark. Now, there's the divs at Sunshine Coast. Grand Cayman, 4:30.
Then came Idols, and last time...
Show and Impali's Boy out wide, driving forward with Don't Fence Me In, getting to a nice handy spot on, settling down, and Slick Show's taken on by Don't Fence Me In, Impali's Boy. Frost Free trapped a little deep as they run onto the corner. Piper's Game from Satiro along the inside. Count Rika, Forest Dancer back to third last, a gap away to New Magic, and Imposing Miss, the first starter, has tailed off. Slick Show and Don't Fence Me In the outside stride together. Impali's Boy 3 wide around them. They were followed by Piper's Game on the inside. Frost Free, the favourite, starts to move into it as they swing with 400 to run. Then Count Rika, Satiro well back, and Forest Dancer. Don't Fence Me In got to a narrow lead coming down to the 200 from Slick Show. Piper's Game joining in, and now Frost Free with Impali's Boy coming with runs. Don't Fence Me In just in front, but Frost Free joining it on the outside. Frost Free race to the lead inside the last 100, and the favourite is coming away. Frost Free goes on for a comfortable win. Impali's Boy get up for second. Don't Fence Me In third. Then Piper's Game, Forest Dancer, Count Rika, Slick Show, Satiro, New Magic, and Imposing Mist at the tail.
Number 5, Frost Free in the second at the Sapphire Coast, 261.30. Over 9, Imbali's Boy, 280, and 7, Don't Fence Me don't fence me in, at $1.50. So 5.97 after race 2, Sapphire Coast. Yarra Glen at the start for the second. Bonhomie Girl, 4.40. Electra at 10. 20s for Parietta Princess and Savannah Show. Down to
Minister for Racing and Gaming, Mr. Richard Face. Richard, it's been a long time in coming, 11 years of a lot of blood, sweat and tears, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. And when I came here 4 years, when I approved the money to finally go ahead, you cannot believe the transformation from what was effectively virgin bush to what we see here today. A magnificent facility with probably one of the most magnificent backdrops of any racecourse in the world. But the tribute really goes to this community. They've got in and just done literally tens of thousands of hours. A couple that I know quite well here didn't even have time a month ago when I handed the licence over to talk to me. They were putting grass down, and they were doing that under floodlights up until the last few days. So it is a magnificent evidence of community spirit. A ball here for 350 people last night, and people will really discover what the beauty of the far south coast in the Sapphire district is. But to have got 2 old racecourses, were flood prone to this, they must be very, very proud of themselves. It'll do good things for racing. They'll attract trainers here, which is what I'm concerned about. They should get a few more meetings in a period of time. That would be my hope, and it will consolidate further the need to have a large stock of horses in the country. I think our provincial and major clubs from time to time don't realise just how important the training of horse stock in the country. It is cheaper. They all want to aspire to get to the bigger meetings, but at the end of the day, if that pool is eroded, it's going to create difficulty for all of the industry. But they're making their contribution here, and I think probably 6,000 to 7,000 people. There's nobody in Marimbula or Pambula or Tathra where I've been today that they have not gone to the races.
It certainly is a fabulous turnout. Now, what does it mean in your overall picture of racing, this opening today?
Well, this is further evidence of consolidation, and now on the south coast you have 3 fine race courses. That's to say Nowra, Moruya, and now here at Sapphire Coast. There is a new race course being opened in November at Goulburn. And that's sort of in that same triangle down here. What's in fact happening is that there's quite a bit of traffic between the Gippsland area as far down as Sale and Orbost and those coming up to here. And it's possible that some of the trainers may in fact transfer from down there. So for the first time we're starting to see pressure on Victoria as a result of the efforts of privatisation, where the prize money is becoming more attractive. I think the rural downturn having gone away, people are now coming back in and buying horses, not sole owners but syndicates, and I keep on continuing to say country racing is still going to play a very important role in all aspects of racing into the future. But the TRB realise, as they do the other 2 codes, they need to have their long-term look at the industry. They've all got strategic plans, which they didn't have when I first became the minister. I quite frankly got an absolute mess when I took over 4 years ago. Everybody was going out of the industry. Nobody had any long-term business plans, far less strategic plans, and quite frankly it wasn't a very harmonious industry at all. Privatisation has gone a long way to changing that. The fact that I've been able to get each of the codes administratively changed, and there's a deal of optimism around, and I've got to thank the industry for cooperating with me, because some of the decisions I made weren't very popular at the time, but that's about making tough decisions in government. I have a great love of the industry. I want to see it go ahead, and we're going to give everybody a bit of a go now that we're up and running in the way we are, and this is evidence of it here today.
It certainly is. Well, thank you very much for your time today. It's a great culmination of a big effort by a lot of people.
Yeah, great tribute.
Well, it's back to you, Chris. Thank you. With me, Mr. Richard Face.
Okay, thank you, Michelle, and further interviews right through the day from the Sapphire Coast, as they're all set now at Warwick.
Chris, welcome back to the Sapphire Coast, used to be known as Bega, and with me right now is the Group General Manager of Bega Cheese, Morris Van Ryn. Hello, Morris, how are you?
Hello, Nick.
Well, you're nice and relaxed. It's a great day for you, isn't it? Bega Cheese getting behind once again the Sapphire Coast for its big day today.
Yeah, it's great to see the racing industry going ahead here with the new track open today. It reflects a little bit of activity on the south coast that's pretty exciting. Bega Cheese opened a new factory about 6 months ago. We spent $25 million in the valley, and we've employed another 100 people. And I think this investment here of $6 or $7 million is also going to help the far south coast, a long way from Sydney, go ahead as well.
It's a great association, isn't it, between the horse racing and Bega Cheese? It has been for many years that I know of.
We like to be associated with the racing down here because it's the only live sporting event that's telecast from the far south coast on a regular basis. And a lot of people eat our cheese and they say, where does Bega Cheese come from? They don't realise it's a town on the south coast of New South Wales, and the association with the racing gives us that link.
Now, $25 million, that's a nice outlay, isn't it?
Yes, it was a big investment. It's the fourth plant of its type in Australia, one of only 100 in the world, and we've now started exporting cheese all over the world, Middle East, South America, all through Southeast Asia. So an industry for everyone in Australia to be proud of here in the Bega Valley.
Absolutely. It's a famous cheese and, well, we all love it. Thanks for your support here at Sapphire Coast today, and I hope you're back a winner or two today.
Thanks, Nick.
Thank you very much. To Morris Van Ryn, they're the group manager for Bega Cheese, and they've just put $25 million into a brand new factory outlet here at Bega, or pretty close down the road is Bega. And that facility, of course, you can tour around if you're in the area. They'll be happy to show you around the Bega Cheese factory. Righto, Chris, I'll bring you back some cheese. Back to you.
Good, Nick, because I kind of need it for this bread roll at the moment, and it's delicious. Love it. OK, they're almost set now for the running of the third at the Sapphire Coast. They've moved in pretty well. Darrenberg's at 3.20, and it's the favourite as we go back to Chris O'Brien.
There's been good money. Sis O'Neill on course. She's the favourite on the TAB, 3.10, just in front of Darrenberg at 3.20. But solid money on course for Sis O'Neill, having its first start. I called this 2-year-old filly winning a barrier trial at Braidwood a week ago. She looked pretty impressive on that occasion. Not sure what the company she was meeting on that occasion in the barrier trial, but good money to suggest she can gallop. She's about to be brought up to the line. Banquo Lass is still out. Sis O'Neill's drawn out in 8. The previous winner came from the outside, barrier, frost-free. And the 6% camper certainly helps horses on this spacious track if they're drawn a little wide. They don't give too much of a disadvantage away. We're just about ready. We've got one All Our Heart still back from the line. Banquo Lass comes up. Now, Sis O'Neill is behind the gates, just waiting on this 2-year-old filly having her first start to be placed away, and then All Our Heart will be the last. Magic Snip's well in the contention downstairs, and is currently 660, 190 on the TAB. Darrenberg is pretty solid. He's around the 320 mark. A couple to move in. You're just about ready now. All Our Heart coming along. Sis O'Neill drawn a little wide. Banquo Lass is settled. Butterfly Princess the first starter. Magic Snip and Phenor. And have Sis O'Neill placed away. It's an attendant in out wide with All Our Heart. It's locked away. Starter moves to the front of the stalls, ready to run in the second division of the Bega Cheese Maiden Handicap. So for 1,000 metres. Gates crash back, and it's a fairly level line too. Mrs. Simpson in the centre is away quickly, taken on by Show Defiance, All Our Heart, and Sis O'Neill driving forward. Magic Snip getting through along the inside in the early stages. On settling down, Mrs. Simpson is taken on by Magic Snip, and Show Defiance is racing 3 wide. Sis O'Neill, the favourites, lobbed into 4th position, right behind the leaders. Banquo Lassett's outside. A gap away, Phenor's giving a little bit of ground from All Our Heart. Darrenberg is back to 3rd last, who's about to turn from Sierra Girl and Butterfly Princess. Turning for home, Mrs. Simpson taken on by Show Defiance. Magic Snip ridden along on the inside, and Sis O'Neill, the favourite, now starts to join in, and then Banquo Lass. Show Defiance racing to the 200, got 2 lengths clear. Sis O'Neill, the first starter, is giving chase, then Mrs. Simpson. Show Defiance at the 200, still 2 lengths clear, holding Sis O'Neill. Show Defiance is going strongly at the 100. Sis O'Neill slowly closing the margin. Darrenberg getting home late. Show Defiance in front. He'll score. Show Defiance beat Darrenberg. Sis O'Neill 3rd, then Mrs. Simpson. They were followed in by All Our Heart and Phenor. Back behind those, Sierra Girl, followed in by Banquo Lass, and Magic Snip, the last one across the line.
Show Defiance, and it did. Gets home and pays 14.10, 3.50 over 1 Darrenberg, 1.40, and 10 Sis O'Neill, $1.30. It'll be 9, 1 and 10 after race 3, Sapphire Coast. Almost set now at Balaclava, and this is the 3rd as we take you back there once again. Here's Brenton Yates.
Mowgli set with heaps of fun.
And gaming, Richard Face there, and dignitaries at the Sapphire Coast and the committee for the opening of the big track, and what a fantastic scene it is down there today. We'll be going back there throughout the afternoon. Of course, this gap between races 3 and 4 is while the official opening is going on, and the fourth event not until 3:15 Eastern.
Thanks, Chris. Welcome back to the Sapphire Coast, and the Chief Executive of the TRB is with me right now, Jim Murphy. G'day, Jim. How are you?
Very well, thanks, Nick.
What a great place to be on a Sunday, and you must be excited about the Sapphire Coast and the prospect of some great racing here in years to come.
Yes, I think it's a fantastic day, and one thing I love doing, Nick, is pushing my way through crowds on race courses. It's a very rare event these days, but they've done a fantastic job here, and this will be a showplace of country racing, no doubt about it.
People have flocked from near and far to be here at the Sapphire Coast today, and the amenities that they're enjoying and the track facilities from a punting point of view is extraordinary.
Yeah, it's a real old-fashioned race crowd today. People have brought their picnics with them, and you've got very modern facilities here. And as you say, they've come from near and far. I think they expected about 5,000 people here, and I think they've got at least that.
Great to see you on track from the TRB, Jim, and enjoy your afternoon here at the Sapphire Coast.
Thanks very much.
Jim Murphy there, the Chief Executive of the TRB, joining us here at the Sapphire Coast today, enjoying his day along with 5,000 or 6,000 others. Thanks, Chris. Back to you.
Good on you, Nick, and we'll be back to Nick and Michelle Tizard down there for the big opening of the Sapphire Coast this afternoon. They're moving in now, Warwick Nabil for... Isn't it?
I haven't seen so many people in one place in a very, very long time. I'd say there's about 7,000 people here, lots of marquees, and the catering's just been outstanding considering we are quite a way away from any particular township. It's about 15 k's from Bega and 17 from Inaugural.
That's right.
So it's a bit of a drive, but it's a beautiful setting out here. It's really worth an effort coming down for a weekend.
They won't run out of cheese here, will they?
No, there's a lot of Bega cheese here, that's right.
Have you seen anybody wearing anything unusual here?
The ladies have gone all out. It isn't just a country race meeting. They've got their suits on and a couple of hats, so they've done very, very well. I'm impressed.
All right, well, can you tip us a winner, apart from anything else?
Well, I think everyone's going for the top weight here, strike time.
Yep.
It's got a good form from Rose Hill last start, 12th of December, so look good in the mounting yard.
Let's go and have something on today.
Okay.
See you later on.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Michelle. There you go. Yes, we're just going back to top weight. Chris, strike time, a last start winner at Rose Hill. That's good form for the Sapphire Coast. Back to you. See you soon.
All right, thanks, Nick, and thank you to Michelle too. Let's hope they make some money down there and are not just left with some cheese, but as they said, there's plenty of cheese there, bigger cheese, of course, at the Sapphire Coast. Great opening to the racecourse today. Now at Caulfield.
Thanks, Chris. It might be a good idea to get an idea of what this track is like from a jockey's point of view. John Scorsese with me right now. G'day, John. How are you?
Good, Nick.
Well, it's magic out there, isn't it?
It's a beautiful track, 3 chutes and very, very wide track, and horses have led and come from the back in the first few races, so there's definitely no bias, but it's a beautiful track.
You'll be riding here quite regularly, I would imagine, John?
Yes, well, it's not too far for us. We flew down with Gary Buchanan, but yeah, it's pretty handy to us.
The home straight, if you're at the tail of the field and they've gone out hard in front, you're going to be able to come from behind here because it's 30 metres wide, this track, isn't it?
Yeah, you should never have any problem getting a run, Nick. Yeah, and yeah, well, with the camber and that, you can get going a little bit earlier in the race, so and you've got 400 metres when you straighten up, so it gives every horse his chance.
Did you have much time to trial the track before the opening today?
There was trials held. I didn't ride them myself, but there was 4 or 5 trials held 2 weeks ago, I think.
Tip us a winner, Johnny. What about Romany Gypsy in the final race?
He's got a very good chance. Number 2's also got a good chance. It'll be a race in 2, I think, but he won, even though it was Braidwood, he won very easily last start. Only his second run for Reggie Webb. He was trained in Sydney before that, and I think he's really taken to the environment down there at Braidwood. He's a much more settled and relaxed horse, and he looked beautiful the other day when he won, and he should be hard to beat here.
Thanks for your time, John. Have a great day here this afternoon.
All right.
Fairly good line, Loose Lady and Strike Time towards the inside, quick to get going, and Helvetia Laveau's going to take them on. Diamond Tip followed by Swiftly Alice kicking up on the inside, Tats Regard and Balaclava Bella.